Hello, this is Jen Mitchell-Love from Solace Divorce Mediation. I am home from spring break. I took a beautiful bath. I just packed up. I'm flying out to go to a funeral tomorrow morning for my uncle who I love so much. And the live tonight is all about, because we're in a program series and unprogramming from the programs. And this live is all about the programs that surround divorce litigation. And there's so many, they're from different angles. So first I'll talk about just a reflection that I've received 3 times in the last month, which is odd and significant too, because it doesn't happen that often. But that is the reflection of people who have made the decision to mediate their divorce. So they have agreed, yes, let's work together with in my case, an attorney of 20 years who is a holistic life coach and a mediator. Yes, we're going to work with this person so she can guide us through all of the necessary conversations, and we can, be empowered to make the agreements that feel best for our unique relationship and marriage. And that's what couples who choose to mediate, that's what they're doing. And 3 times I've had conversations with 3 different couples that have said that they think that litigation might be the better venue for them. And that is a program. So I'm just gonna tell you the truth and share everything super straight with all who are listening. That is a program that people think that they would get a better outcome in court, going through their divorce in court. That is a program where people have been taught to believe that in order to get a divorce, they need to get an attorney. It needs to be destructive. It needs to be in court. You need to have a judge there telling you what to do. These are all programs that people think in the program, I'm going to get a better result in there, I have no idea why they think that. I am not programmed. I'm every day working very hard to figure out what programs I have left and to release them, because I'm done living in this space of doing and saying things that I learned to do and say for all the reasons that I did that are giving me the same result over and over and over again. I'm not interested. So, I'm actively deprogramming at this point. So that's the programs from the clients, from the people going through a divorce. And now I want to talk about the program that is running for the attorneys who are family law litigation attorneys. So if any of you are watching this and you feel differently, I would love to connect and talk deeper about this with you to better understand, how you're not programmed. Because I was a litigation attorney for the first 9 years of my career after law school. And the reason, why did I work at a law firm? Why did I become a litigation attorney? Because that's what the programs told me to do. You go to law school, you clerk during law school, and then you get a job at a law firm and you litigate. And I'm not saying all attorneys do that, but the vast majority do. So that was my program. I went to court every morning. I argued on behalf of my client, looking out for my client's best interest as if that person were an island of one, when a marriage is 2 people. And if there are children involved, we have a forever family. So it's not really just about one person. But that was the program, in addition to the program that was telling me that is what attorneys do. They fight, they litigate, they draft motions, they argue them in court, they do pretrial conferences, they do hearings, they do all the things, and they're billing everything in 6-minute increments, Then we have the whole system program of the litigation world, which is any family law attorney who's working at a law firm is going to have a billable hour minimum In my first law firm, it was 200 hours a month billable. That's 50 billable hours in a week. A normal work week is 40, right? Which is another program, just to point that out. But yeah, so there's tremendous pressure on these attorneys to bill. And how do they bill in divorce? Like really, when you step back and think about this whole system and how this is working out for everyone, okay? How do they bill? They draft motions. Because when I was litigation attorney, 5 attorneys that worked with me to resolve cases, the rest of them would file motions. And why? Because when you file a motion, it's a lot of billable hours. You get to file that motion. Your opposing counsel gets to file a response. Then you get to file a reply. You get to go to court every 45 to 60 days for a status conference. And what do? There? You tell the court, oh, Your Honor, we are working on a settlement agreement together. Are you? Are you really? How hard are the attorneys working on a settlement agreement? Just out of curiosity. How hard do you think they really are? This is a job for them. And they're programmed, so programmed to believe that this is the job that they need to do. And it is. I mean, that's what they do at a family law firm. And how do they bill those hours? They draft all these motions. And the bar for filing a motion that has truth to it, where there's any sort of proof, is so low. So you can they file all different things. They file things that are going to ignite emotion and anger and hate and rage, because those are the emotions that keep a litigation case going, aren't they? If it's nice and calm and people are working together and talking together, that's not going to resolve. That's not going to end up with many, many billable hours. They want to bill. So let's file a motion about how your husband had an affair with your nanny while your children were in the playroom, and this is all part of a permanent public court record. All of these billable hours that are causing all of this destruction unnecessarily, because let's take another step into the programs. So we have the programs of the people going through divorce. We have the programs of the attorneys that are perpetuating this system that is destructive and does not work. And then we have the whole system in general that is being kind of led by the judges, and judges are attorneys. So it's kind of like a little boys club with girls invited, because judges are attorneys. So they're always going to root for the attorney. If there's a petition for fees, if those attorneys aren't getting paid, you better bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a lien put on your home, maybe on some retirement accounts, just to make sure that some monies are parceled out so your attorneys are getting paid. The entire time, you have no idea what's going on, but you're so deeply programmed to believe that this is divorce. It's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be hard. I'm not supposed to know. I'm not supposed to know what's going on. I'm supposed to spend all this money and be so stressed and hate my spouse. My kids are supposed to be negatively impacted. That's how divorce is. And you have these judges that are just perpetuating the whole thing. They're just keeping it going. And the truth about the judges, there is only so much time in a day, a work day. Because let's remember, for the attorneys that are billing in 6-minute increments and getting paid large salaries to bill and bill and bill and get more and more money generated for the law firm that they're working for, they're making a lot of money. This is a job for them. They don't know your kids. They don't care about your kids. Sorry. They can't, because their program, their ethical obligation, and it is a true ethical obligation, is to represent your best interest and your best interest solely. So they can't think about your kids. They can't think about your forever relationship with your spouse, forever co-parent, if you have kids. They can't think about that. They're just thinking about you. And then you have these judges who are working this job. And, when I litigated, there were some family law judges that I thought were amazing. They were on top of stuff. They moved the cases along. They didn't allow for all this fluff and destruction and stagnancy. And they really did what they could do to move it along. But I think the reality of it is this is a job for the judge too. There's only so much time that a judge is at work on the bench, like, and actually on the bench, you know what I mean? The judge has other things to do during the day, not just be on the bench. But judges are so over flooded with cases that there's no way that they can stay on top of all of these cases. So you're basically just when you choose to litigate your divorce, you are choosing to step into a system and a space where you have zero control. You have zero control. I mean, you're supposed to have control because the client is supposed to be in control of the attorney, but the attorneys talk in their ear. Ooh, we should be arguing for this. You should be getting this. People are like, oh my gosh, my attorney said that. You know, my attorney knows better. They've been practicing law for 10 years. I've never practiced law, you know. Well, that is a program too when it comes to divorce. Everyone who's going through a divorce thinks it's so hard and it's so scary. It's not hard and it's not scary. The legal stuff. You can educate yourself on what it is. And you can take the Divorce with Love Masterclass, which is amazing. And it will teach you everything you need to know about the legal process of divorce, the emotional process of divorce. But you can educate yourself, and it doesn't need to be those things. And so where I'm at this space, what I want to reflect about, you know, the work that I do at Solace, and you know, when I was in my bath, I was thinking about, you know, why have I heard this 3 times, you know, recently in like a short amount of time? Why is that? And I was talking to my friend Annie, who's just a divine queen. I love her. Annie Letterman. Any of you who like comedy or just like to laugh, which should be everyone, check her out. She's amazing. Anyway, I was talking to her, and she's like, you know what? That's what you need to share with people. You need to share with them about this system and about my path. You know, I was a litigation attorney for 9 years. I did work in that system. I followed the programs because I didn't know there was another way. And then I had 3 kids in 39 months. And when my kids came into my life, they changed everything. Just like all of you who have children. That's what they do. They're greatest teachers, and they changed everything, every single thing. And I realized I could not continue to be a family law litigation attorney because I didn't want my kids to feel their mother doing that work and to see me doing that work, which essentially is nothing but causing destruction and problems and billing for it. You know, and probably receiving accolades at work of like, oh, you're so amazing to bill so many hours. It's like, yeah, I know I'm not doing that. And that's kind of the space that I've been in lately too. It's like, I love what I do so much at Solace. I love guiding people through this divorce journey in a mindful and an intentional and a loving manner where we can laugh together in the mediation space. And it is not, and there's tears too, you know, people get angry. It's not a kumbaya, but I'm just saying it's a different vibration because the work that I'm doing is so different. I'm helping people heal. I'm guiding them through this journey to empower themselves because I want people to live from an empowered space and to recognize the programs and to ask themselves, is this program serving me? Is this program serving my highest and greatest self? Because if not, then release it and be empowered and do something different. So that's the live for today, everyone. I love you madly. I'm grateful for everything. You know, I think there's a lot going on in our consciousness right now, in the exterior world. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening with people individually. And another thing that Annie shared was a sign that she saw because her dad recently died. And my dad died 2 years ago, and her dad died on my dad's birthday. And then my uncle just died. That's whose funeral I'm going to. And he died on the same day my dad died, which I left. It's crazy. It's 0.27%. It's like, and they were so close. And I just feel like, and my Aunt Lois died too, and she's such a queen. She was so amazing and so joyful and so fun. And yeah, there's just so much happening in the consciousness. I feel like I can feel it. I feel it very, very strongly. And so I encourage you to take good care of yourself. If you have cute little cats like I do, who just love each other, these little cute little brothers who I haven't seen, I'm going to snuggle with them. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to fly on my flight. But I'm sending you much love. And I am here for you. I encourage you to take good care of yourself. And center yourself. You don't have to litigate your divorce. And truly, it's like the absolute opposite. If there's something in your mind thinking that litigating my divorce is going to be better than mediating my divorce, I mean, this is without, physical abuse, mental disorders, things where there's danger and it's good to be in court to have a judge, guiding you. I'm talking about the 95% of cases that are not those things. I just, from my heart space to yours, want to share with you, it's the complete opposite. It's just the program telling you that. You don't have to do that. You really don't. You don't have to do that. You can go through your divorce mindfully and lovingly, and it can take you a few months and cost a fraction of what you're going to be spending in court. And if you go through solace, you're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to learn so much about what this relationship, what this marriage is teaching you, what it's here to show you, what you beliefs you're holding on to, what programs you have, and, just relaxing the programs when it comes to marriage and divorce and relationship and love and parenting. It's like, it's so exhausting being so tight, and how there always has to be a right, wrong, good, and bad. Why does there have to be a right, wrong, good, and bad? In my world, there is no right, wrong, good, and bad. It just is what it is. And whatever it is what it is. And it's meant to be that way for all the reasons that it is, and that's what it's about, is taking the time to center yourself and figure out, okay, why is this presenting for me? Not judging it, not labeling it, not gossiping about it with all your friends, just really sitting in the space of, okay, what am I meant to learn from this? And why is this presenting for me? And that's it. So I love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. Snuggle with your kitty cats. I mean, honestly, look how sweet. They're litter mates. They're brothers. That could be another part of this live. Any of you thinking about getting a cat, if you get 2, it's so easy. It's so much easier. And then they have, look at snuggle buddies. They clean each other and love each other, keep each other company. Anyway, okay, that's a whole nother life. Sending you much love. Bye.